I must have some kind of wood stove fetish. Come and have a look, see what I mean. Right, you've seen them two before. I've used them before in other videos. Bushcraft Essentials. Now then, this new one here is from Amazon, and that one there is from AliExpress. So we're going to look at that one and that one. Now, one of the reasons why I bought these two stoves is because I wanted them. That's it. I saw this one, which is something like a Lixada from AliExpress, and I watched this being unboxed and used on a channel called Survive the Night by Ant and Charlie. So Ant and Charlie, if you're watching, cheers mate. We'll look at this in a minute. And this one here, before I've unboxed it or unzipped it or unbagged it, this is from Amazon, and it's called an Outcry. They're both wood burning stoves, so we'll go into a bit more detail and we'll compare them as well. Right, the first one I'm going to show you is the Outcry from Amazon. Cost me $19.99. Comes in a nice little bag like this, made of stainless steel. You can see myself in the steel itself there. I'll open it up so you can see what's inside it. Okay, it folds out just like that. It's got a pot stand. It's got where you put your fuel on. This is an ashtray, and this is the body of it. Right. So it looks like there's two levels here, so you can see where it clips on that side and clips on that side. So you've got that. Then all you need to do is drop the little tray on top, and then drop basically this in. There's some little grooves on the side. Let me just show you. Two little grooves there on the side there. Well, that basically just drops on there, so it's nice and secure. It's got plenty of air holes for plenty of air flowing through it, and it can be adjusted as well. If you want to say, for instance, you want to take one of these things, so you just take it apart. Quite easy actually. Oops. Lift it up to the next level. Drop it on there. It's just another level up. Put the wood rack on there. Put that on top of there. And there you go. It will take a variety of pans as well. It's quite a good size actually. Well, I haven't got a metal cup, so imagine that's my cup. That'll fit on nicely as well. Right, let's have a look at the dimensions of it. So across there, roughly about 90mm or 7.5 inch. About 80mm or 7 inch. 60mm or 6.25 inches. The lower part of the tray, if you want to put it there, is roughly 60mm or 2.5 inches. That's from that bit there. And the next height up is roughly 90mm or 3.5 inches. And the bag is 250mm or just short of 10 inches. You can see that. And the width is roughly, oops, get that there, roughly 90mm or 7.5 inches. Roughly 721 grams. Right, this is the one from AliExpress. It's got a nice little brown bag. It comes as an upgraded camping wood stove. But when I've looked on other places like Amazon and eBay, it comes a Lixada or a PSKook, which is PSKook. This cost me from AliExpress £17.95. But you have to be careful from AliExpress. A couple of things. No doubt if you've used them, you'll know what I mean. One, it takes a long time to turn up. It took well over 6 weeks to turn up, this one. And you can be subject to customs. And customs, at the moment, was, I remember, let me think, was £12.77. That's including the post office. So be careful if you buy one that you think's cheaper than, for instance, Amazon or eBay. As far as I know, you can definitely get these cheaper off Amazon or eBay without paying the extra customs. Right, let's take it out of its bag. As you can see, I've not used it. It's straight out of its packet. Right, let's open it up and have a look inside and how it works. Open it up like that, just very similar to my Bushcraft Essentials one. But what you've got to do next, lift you up. There's the ash pan. There, that fits in the side down there. You take that out as well, because that's the top, and then that just drops down, and that's where you put your fuel. Right, now the ash pan goes, if I remember rightly, slides on the side there like that. So it's down there, it's fully inserted now. And then what you do, you just drop that on top. Now there's no grooves like there was on the other little fire stove. It just happens to sit on top, but it sits quite snugly inside that square. So it feels as though it's pretty secure, to be honest with you. Yeah, pretty secure. Okay, let's take some measurements. The height is 200mm or 8 inches. The width is 140mm or 5.5 inches. The depth is, again, 140mm or 5.5 inches, so basically it's square. The full size is approximately 35mm or 1.5 inches. Right, the bag size is 230mm, which is about 9 inches, by 60mm, which is roughly about 6.25. And the thickness of this, if you can see it, oops, is roughly about 50mm or 2 inches. Okay, the weight of this thing is 979 grams. Only one more thing to do now is get rid of all that plastic covering. Right, now it's took me an hour to get rid of, see this here, this blue stuff, I'll show you. This stuff here. It took me an hour to get rid of it. I think it's on there, obviously, so it won't become scratched, but to be honest with you, it doesn't really need to be on. It's already in a bag as it is. It comes in that bag. That'll protect it. All you have to do is put something like some paper around or something soft like bubble wrap and it'll be perfect. But all that there, see, I've still got bits on now, and it absolutely takes me ages to do it, and I've had to use a knife to try and get most of it off because it's tucked. If you look at that, see that there, that little rim, it's tucked behind all that, so you can't get it off. So with the spirit burner in there, that's just with the pot on top. That's just too, it's too high up, to be honest with you. Show you. It's too far down there. So I don't think with the spirit burner it's not really going to work. There's nothing on the sides I can think that you can slide anything through. So you couldn't even put a couple of tent pegs in to lift it up if you wanted to. That's if you wanted to use it for a spirit burner, that is. And there they are, side by side. So next thing we're going to do is I'm going to light them both, and then we can have a look at both of them at the same time. Well, at this present time, which is May 2020, we're still on a lockdown. Now, we have been given a bit more space to go around and drive a few places and walk a few places and stuff like that, but we can't spend anywhere overnight, and I can't really take them stoves into a woods to set a fire. It's not quite right yet, but if I can't do that, so instead of going to the woods, let's bring the woods to us. There you go. What I like about this stove, it's dead easy to put stuff on. Actually, it's got a really nice wide mouth, so you can keep putting stuff on. The only thing that I'm not sure about is that it needs something here, because trying to feed stuff on, I think it's going to fall off. Put a sprinkling of shavings on it. Why not? Cheated again. I put some sawdust or should say shavings on it to try and get in. I find that the little pad then, when it started to burn down, it just fell through that little grill. So it's probably not a good idea to do it that way. The piece has already fallen off there. Right, put some bigger pieces on now, see what happens. Right, I've put some pieces of timber on that way. It's quite deep to hold them on, obviously. They're about, I don't know, 150mm, which is 6 inches long. So for the staying on, but time will tell as it starts to burn down if it's just going to fall off. But I'm going to show you the difference between feeding this one and feeding that with fuel. Oops, it is. Now you notice I just caught that then, but they'll still stay on them. They're still staying on. I'll put some bigger wood on when it gets in a bit more. So for that's all right. That's hanging down. I can push that on a little bit. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Now you can see I can put these big piece of timber off. They're overhanging, but they're not falling off. Now you look at that one. If I don't push that on with something, it's gonna basically fall off. Now the Outcry one has got like 6 inch or 150mm timber, and so far it's not fallen off. Bits have fallen off there. And if you look at this one here, nothing's fallen down here. These are a lot longer. They've got to be, oh, I'd say maybe 300 mil or 1 foot in length, and I just push them up like that, and it's really good because of this here. Now you notice there, if you tried to move that for whatever reason it is, you're going to be in trouble. I think you won't be able to do it. It's just, there's no handles at all on it. But if you try to move this one, you've got these handles here and ones on the back as well. So if you get something that you can wrap round without burning yourself, you can move them. Bigger chunks of timber like that I think would be perfect actually. See on the floor, some ashes fell on the floor here. Yeah. Now if you look at the other one, there's a little bit here, hardly anything, there's nothing at all there. So the advantage of that is the door. I filled my little pot to about 0.4 of a litre. I'll just time these stoves and see which is the quickest that can boil water. Right, I'll put this pan on that side because that's where the fire's in most. Now the beauty of this little fire over that one is if you want to boil 2 kettles, or maybe cook someone on that side, or whichever side it is, then it's obviously it's got a much wider top. So you'll be able to put 2 things on there and only really 1 thing on there. What I have noticed between these 2 stoves is that one seems to burn timber much quicker than this one. Maybe that I'm putting smaller timbers on that because I'm concerned about it falling off, and this one I can put thicker timbers on and just keep pushing it in. Right, it's just starting to rolling boil now, and that is, if you can see it, 12 minutes 49, something like that. Right, let's take that little pan off, take the water out, and cool the tin down and put some clean water in and see what the other stove does. Right, same amount of water. I've cooled the pan down so it's as though the pan's cold anyway, and that's cold water. Let's stick that on and see how long that takes. Well, we've got a rolling boil on there, and it's 7 minutes 18. If you can see that. Now that is probably nearly twice as quick as that one. So there you have it. Both stoves together, both brand new. Both straight out the packets. Never used them before, first time I've used them. I'm now going to give you an opinion of what I think of both stoves. Now don't forget, it isn't a review, it's only an overview. I've only used them once, so I don't know how good they really are. Time will tell. So let's turn the camera back round and I'll point out to both stoves and I'll tell you what I think. This stove here is the one from AliExpress, so that's what we call the AliExpress stove. What I like about this is it folds open just like my Bushcraft Essentials one. It's got a little mouth that comes down here that you can feed your fuel in, and the beauty of this is it seems to take big pieces of timber, and it doesn't fall off. Just be pushing off. There's hardly anything on the floor, if you can see that. There's that fell off because it's obviously burnt off the edge of that. But generally, that's not a bad stove actually. The water boiled nearly twice as quick as that little stove there, because it's got a smaller area really when you think about it. The only thing I don't like about this is the plastic. The plastic took me nearly an hour to get off, and that was the problem. I've got most of it off with very little bits and pieces that's left, but it's hardly anything. It's tucked under the parts where they've been turned over and sort of stuck together. That's that one. This one here, it's virtually, I would say it was twice as wide, but it's quite wide. It's a lot lighter than that stove, probably about, well, nearly about, I'd say a good couple 100 grams lighter. It feels lighter actually, that feels a lot heavier. The timbers you feed in here, you can't have them too far out because they fall off just like that one did then. So as for efficiency, I'll soon find out when it goes out how well it's burnt, same as that one as well. This top piece here, you can put 2 pans on if you want to. Maybe a small pan for cooking something, and the other maybe a small cup you want to boil some water for yourself. The only problem as well is all this ash seed on the floor. Now, if you want to move it, as you saw before, you've got to put a couple of, probably something through there to pick it up. But you've got to balance it really well on the holes, on the side holes there, otherwise it's going to tip up. You know, be careful. On this one, because of the handles here, if you can see them there, the handle, you can pick them up much easier, I think, with a couple of pegs, and you can move it around. Say, for instance, you burn the grass, or in that case, just like that. So at least you can move this a bit quick if something goes wrong. If that is, you're going to struggle, I think, in that one. Now, this thing here, this little stove here, this Outcry one, the ash pan's fixed to it, so you're going to have to pick it up and tip it out. Now, mind you, same with this as well. There, the ash pan, see it's sticking out a little bit there. I didn't push it in far enough, but what you do is you can hang it over something like maybe something that you want to tip it into, as long as it's gone cold, obviously, and then you can pull it out and it should drop through. The timbers you put in here, the fuel you put in here, it seems to last longer. As you said, you can carry and push it in, but this seems to burn very, very quickly. So you're constantly feeding it. As I said before, you've got to have smaller pieces in there, otherwise it hangs off the edge and can probably fall off. I suppose another plus and minus for these stoves, a pan like that fits on top. It covers most of it, actually. But this one, if you put that on there, again, it covers it a bit wider. So you may get a better fry up on that one than that one. Both these stoves have gone out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to tip them up or empty the ash on the floor to have a look at how efficient these stoves have actually burnt this timber. Right, the stoves are still in a little bit. I mean, it's generally not too bad. But what I'll do is I'll empty this one first. So I'll take the top off, have a look at that. But you can't really see that very well, but it's got some slight warping on it. It looks like it has to me, I bet you can't really see it. You see it there with curves. So that's not a good sign really, is it? Right, let's have a look at turning it that way. There's the ash tray. Now obviously I'm pulling it out there, so what it's basically doing is just scraping the ash onto the floor. It doesn't come off in one chunk, so you can just tip it in. Tip it up. It's basically burned that quite well actually. Not bad at all. Not bad at all really. I think that was in there, but you're really good actually. Right, let's have a look at the lid, see if I can still shut it. Big gloves, that's a good question, isn't it? Let's have a look at it. Yeah, that's alright. Yeah, it shuts alright, so there's no warping there. Inside, let's have a look at that. It seems alright. It seems alright. Somebody warping there. The hinges, they're closing, that seems to be alright as well. Yeah, that's no problem. Not too bad actually, not bad at all. So, we'll look at this. These bits on the floor just basically fallen off because they've not been burnt. I've obviously missed the chance of pushing them on a bit further, I think, so they've basically burnt off and fallen. Take this off here, see if there's any warping. Yeah, it seems to be okay, that, because that little pot stand there is a bit thicker than the one on the AliExpress one, so that seems to be okay. Right, let's have a look here. Yeah, seems to have burnt through. Let's tip it up. Seems all right so far. Let's take this cover off. Let's have a look at the warping on that, if there's any at all. There's a little bit of warping. I don't know if you can see it or not. I don't know if you can see it or not. See how it curves? It's curving that way. A little bit of warping. Not a good sign when it warps. Well, it's very visco. But then again, it's just thin. It's actually quite thin, that. This is a little bit thicker. Not much. Right, let's have a look at the ash. Yeah, virtually burnt everything down except for some bits and pieces. They're probably what fell off the end anyway. That was in the fire, that's not burnt, that. That's still not burnt. Bits really, but generally it's nearly all gone. If I'd left it a bit longer, it may have just burnt to nothing anyway. Who knows? Right, let's have a look at the bottom. Take this off here, if I can. Okay, have a look at this tray. I don't see any warping. I hope you can see it. Don't look at how it's warped anyway. Looks all right. It's quite clean actually. So this here, it's very thin metal. This is. No, it looks actually quite all right. See if it closes all right. Yeah. Closes okay, not bad, not bad. Don't know how it closes if I push that one side for a second. Right, let's put everything inside. This will give me an idea, I suppose. Okay, tray. That one that way, and that one slightly down. Which one way was it? Was it this way, I think? And that way. Oh, yeah, that's okay actually. But yeah, so there's no real warping actually. It's quite good. Right, that comes up. Close them. Slide that down there. Should be anywhere. And I think that slides the same place. Yeah, I think it does. I think it's this. There we go. It's not far off anyway. Yeah, that's all right as well. That's closed quite well as well. That's not too bad, to be honest with you. I'll go down that. But generally, not too bad. So there you have it. Two cheap wood stoves side by side. Actually, not too bad, to be honest with you. They have pros and cons for both of them, don't they? A little bit of warping, but not a lot, to be honest with you. And the fuel's burnt virtually to nothing, which I do like on stoves. It does that. It's really, really good. As for the price, 20 quid, less than that, it's well worth it. Probably, it seems to be anyway. I mean, you know, time will tell, because this wasn't a review, it was an overview. The more I use them, the more I'll get an idea if they were worth it anyway. I mean, 20 quid's not a lot of money. especially when you're paying for Bushcraft Essentials. I know the Bushcraft XL, which I've had for over 5 years, it cost 70 quid then. So I think the same model now is over 100 quid, and they do a titanium one now, which is even more. So, you know, I know that they're okay. I could do a review on them, no problem. But for these here, it's got to be an overview until I figure out, or I've used it a few more times to see what I think it is. Bit of warping initially, not sure about that. But I'll put a link for both these stoves in the description below, and there'll be a link to Amazon and hopefully a link to eBay. You can have a look at them. Now, it's up to you if you want to buy a stove like that. These links are obviously not affiliated. I don't make anything off them. It's just purely because I've looked at these and I'm just giving you an idea. If you want to buy one, it's up to you. It's nothing to do with me. So that's as much I can really tell you at the moment. I may do a review on the Bushcraft Essentials stoves compared to these as well, but I need to use these a bit more and then I'll give you an idea. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know yet. So hopefully that was of some interest to you, the video that I've just done. Sorry I've got this light on, but it took that long to get that plastic off before I started this recording after 6-7 o'clock. So it took me that long to do the plastic off. Hence the reason why it's in dark. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hope it was from some use to you, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video, wherever it may be. I'll see you again.